Of all the stories ever told, one war echoes louder than all others. A war that lasted 10 years. A war that consumed the greatest heroes of the age.
We are told it was a war for a woman. The most beautiful woman in the world.
A face that launched 1,000 ships.
But it was not. It was a war born of vanity. A war started by the gods themselves.
And it all began, not with a sword, but with an insult and a single golden apple.
Our story begins with a wedding. The greatest wedding of the age.
The mortal king, Peleus, was marrying the immortal sea nymph, Thetis. All the gods of Olympus were invited to the celebration. All except one.
Eris, the goddess of discord, the goddess of strife. She was not invited.
They think they can have a wedding without chaos?
I am the chaos.
She took a golden apple from the garden of the Hesperides, the fruit of the gods.
And upon it, she carved a single, toxic word, Callistae, for the fairest. She rolled her apple of discord right into the middle of the feasting gods. It stopped at the feet of the three most powerful goddesses, Hera, the queen, Athena, the warrior, and Aphrodite, the lover.
Hera reached for it. For the fairest? Clearly, she declared, it is meant for me, the queen.
Fairest in beauty, perhaps, but I am fairest in wisdom and war. The apple is mine.
My dears, the word is fairest, and I am the goddess of love. The contest is already over. The argument exploded. The wedding was ruined. Eris, her work complete, vanished.
Zeus, you must choose.
Zeus, you are the king. You must choose. Who is the fairest?
Zeus froze. He was a politician, not a fool.
His wife? His daughter?
His other daughter?
I cannot choose. I cannot possibly judge this.
Narration. He had a clever, cowardly idea. I cannot be the judge. But I know a mortal who can.
He looked down to the great city of Troy. And to a young shepherd boy sitting on Mount Ida. A boy named Paris. He is the finest judge of beauty. Let him choose. Paris was a prince of Troy, but he lived as a shepherd, unaware of his royal blood.
Suddenly, the god Hermes appeared. Paris of Troy, Zeus commands you. You must judge a difficult contest.
And then they appeared. Hera, Athena, Aphrodite.
Hermes handed the shepherd the golden apple. You must choose, he said. Who is the fairest of all?
Paris was terrified. This was a death sentence.
But the goddesses knew this was not a contest. It was a bribe.
Choose me, mortal.
And I will make you a king, lord of all Europe and Asia.
Paris was tempted. But then, Athena stepped forward.
Power is fleeting. Choose me! Power! She scoffed. Choose me, and I will give you wisdom. I will make you the...
You will never know defeat. You will be wiser than all men.
You will be feared, and you will be respected forever.
Paris was torn. Power or glory. And then, Aphrodite stepped forward. She did not offer him kingdoms. She did not offer him war.
Paris, why worry about such things? Those are work. Look at me. What good is power if you are lonely? Choose me, and I will give you love.
Not just any love. I will give you the love of the most beautiful mortal woman in the entire world.
A vision appeared. A woman of such impossible beauty, Paris forgot to breathe. Helen of Sparta.
She will be yours.
Paris, a young, foolish man, did not hesitate. Power? Wisdom? He walked past the Queen of Heaven. He walked past the goddess of wisdom. And he handed the golden apple to Aphrodite. The choice was made. The fates of millions were sealed.
But as Aphrodite celebrated, the other two goddesses turned.
You have made your choice, mortal, and you have made your enemies. Their faces were masks of cold.
We will not forget this, and we will not forget Troy.
And we will not forget.
The goddesses vanished. Paris was left, terrified, but triumphant. He had his prize.
Now, go to Sparta. Claim your reward. But there is one small problem. The most beautiful woman in the world
is already married.
About me.
Helen of Sparta. She was the daughter of Zeus, a demigoddess, so beautiful that every king in Greece had wanted her.
To prevent a war, her father had made them all swear a great oath.
You must all swear that whoever wins her hand, the rest of you will defend that marriage with all your armies.
All the kings of Greece swore the oath.
Years later, Paris, now revealed as a prince of Troy, sailed to Sparta on a diplomatic mission.
King Menelaus, Helen's husband, welcomed him as an honored guest.
He hosted a great feast. And there, Paris saw Helen. Their eyes met.
Helen was overcome with a divine, irresistible love.
A few days later, Menelaus had to sail for Crete for a funeral.
My home is yours, Prince Paris. Please stay. My wife will entertain you.
My home is yours, he told Paris.
The moment Menelaus was gone, Aphrodite's plan was complete. Paris went to Helen.
Come with me. We are fated to be together.
Yes.
Some myths say she was abducted. Some say she went willingly, blinded by the gods' magic.
But Paris did not just take the woman. He also stole the king's treasure.
He had broken Xenia, the sacred law of hospitality, the one law Zeus himself protected.
The Trojan ship sailed, carrying the queen and the gold, back to Troy.
Menelaus returned. He found his wife gone, his treasury looted, his home desecrated.
His grief turned to a cold, legal rage. The pact had been broken.
He did not sail to Troy. He sailed to his brother, the most powerful man in Greece, Agamemnon, king of Mycenae.
Brother, Menelaus says, his voice shaking with rage. The oath! Call the banners! We are going to war!
The call went out. Agamemnon, the High King, invoked the oath of Tyndareus.
The oath must be honored.
Every king who had once sought Helen's hand was now bound by blood and honor to bring her back. The old kings, like Nestor. The young, fierce kings, like Diomedes. They gathered their armies.
But two of the greatest heroes did not answer the call.
The first was Odysseus, king of Ithaca, the cleverest of all men. He had a new wife and a newborn son. He did not want to leave them for a foolish war. He pretended to be insane.
The messenger, Palamedes, was also clever. He knew a test.
Odysseus' madness vanished. He violently swerved the plow, sparing his child. His sanity was revealed.
Trapped by his own cleverness, Odysseus agreed to join the war.
The second and greatest hero was Achilles.
His mother, Thetis, knew a prophecy. Achilles would either live a long, boring life.
To save him, she disguised him as a woman. She hid him on the island of Skyros, among the king's daughters.
But Odysseus, now the recruiter, came searching. He brought gifts for the princesses.
Silks, jewels, fine fabrics, and one magnificent, gleaming sword.
The princesses screamed and scattered. All except one.
One maiden instinctively ripped off her veil and grabbed the sword, ready for battle.
Achilles, we have been waiting for you.
The heroes were gathered. The army was assembled. 1,000 ships ready to sail for Troy.
But they had a problem. The winds would not blow.
For weeks, the massive fleet sat, trapped in the harbor at Aulis. The sea was glass.
Why? Why do the gods mock us? You, my king, you angered a goddess. Not even Artemis could have made that shot.
Years ago, you killed her sacred deer, and you boasted that you were a better hunter than she.
What does she demand? Gold? Temples?
She demands payment. A sacrifice.
Not gold. Blood. The blood of your own blood.
What?
Blood. For blood.
She demands the life, your and his of your eldest daughter, Iphigenia.
No. Never. I will disband the fleet. The oath, the army, your honor. You are a king first, a father second.
But Agamemnon, the king, was trapped.
He hardened his heart. He chose the war.
He sent a message home. A lie. Send our daughter Iphigenia to Aulis at once, for she is to be married to our...
His wife, overjoyed, sent their daughter, dressed in her wedding robes.
Father!
Iphigenia arrived. She ran to her father.
And she saw...
Not a groom, but a sacrificial altar.
The soldiers seized her. She looked at her father, pleading.
Agamemnon looked away.
The knife was raised. The sacrifice was made. And in that instant, a great wind, sent by Artemis, filled the sails.
The 1,000 ships sailed for Troy.
They arrived on the beaches of Troy. The Trojans, led by their noble prince, Hector, were waiting.
The first Greek to set foot on Trojan soil will be the first to die.
One hero, Patroclus, knowing this, jumped first anyway. He was killed instantly. The war had its first hero.
The Greeks, led by the furious Achilles, crashed onto the beach, and the war began. But they could not take the city. The great walls of Troy, built by Apollo and Poseidon, were unbreakable.
And so, the war dragged on.
1 year! 5 years! 9 long, bloody years.
It was a stalemate. The Greeks could not breach the walls. The Trojans could not drive them into the sea.
And then, in the 10th year, a plague.
A Terith plague, sent by Apollo, swept the Greek camp. Men were dying by the hundreds.
The seer. Calchas! Why is Apollo angry now?
Calchas stood, terrified, not of Achilles, but of the king.
It is you, Agamemnon, again.
How did I come?
It is Agamemnon, the seer declared.
Us. In a raid, you took a prize, the girl Chryseis. She is the daughter of a priest of Apollo.
All eyes turned to Agamemnon. The army shouted, "Give her back! End the plague!"
Agamemnon's face was dark with pride. He had sacrificed his daughter for this war. He would not be shamed by a simple priest.
Agamemnon, you are a greedy fool. Give the girl back before we all die. The two greatest egos in the Greek army finally clashed. You dare commend me? You, the half-god? The attack dog?
Fine. I will give my prize back to save the army. But a king cannot be left without a prize. It is an insult to my honor.
So to replace her, I will take your prize.
I will take
the girl Briseis. A dead silence. He was taking Achilles' war prize, his honor, the ultimate public humiliation.
Achilles' rage was so pure, so total. He reached for his sword.
You dog face! I will kill you where you stand!
As he drew the blade, a hand grabbed his hair. Athena, visible only to him.
Stop, she commands. Do not strike your king. It is not your fate. There is a greater glory coming.
Achilles, trembling, forced his sword back. He turned to Agamemnon, his eyes now cold as ice.
You have done it, Agamemnon. You have made your choice.
Take her then. Take your prize.
I swear a great oath by this scepter. But hear my oath. I am done. As of this moment, I, Achilles, son of Peleus, will not fight.
You can all stay here and rot. And when Hector and the Trojans come, I will not lift one finger to help you.
And they are slaughtering you by the hundreds. You will beg me. You will crawl to me. And when Hector is at your ships, burning you...
And I will watch you die.
He stormed out. He went to his tents by the sea.
The greatest hero in the world removed himself from the war. And the tide was about to turn. The withdrawal of Achilles changed everything. The Greek army was broken, their morale shattered. The Trojans, led by the noble Hector, finally had the advantage. They poured from their gates, sensing victory.
Let us end this. I will duel Menelaus one-on-one. The winner takes Helen and the treasure. The war ends.
The duel began. It was not a contest. Menelaus, the warrior king, dominated the prince.
He shattered Paris's spear, broke his shield, and grabbing his helmet, began dragging him by the neck.
The strap was choking Paris! Aphrodite, seeing her champion about to die,
Magically snapped the chin strap. She shrouded Paris in a thick mist and spirited him away.
Placing him, unharmed, back in his bedroom with Helen.
He fled! The truce is broken!
Menelaus was left holding an empty helmet. The truce was a mockery.
Goaded by the gods, a Trojan archer broke the truce, firing an arrow and wounding Menelaus.
The battle exploded, and with Achilles gone, no Greek could stand against the main Trojan hero, Hector.
He fought the mighty Ajax to a standstill, but the tide had turned.
The Trojans, led by Hector, were winning. They drove the Greeks from the field, back past their own walls.
All the way back to the beach. Hector, blazing with glory, threw a torch. This was the end. The Greeks were trapped, their escape route in flames. One man ran. He ran through the fire to the tent of the one man who could stop it.
Patroclus, Achilles' dearest companion.
Achilles, you must! They are dying! Agamemnon has wronged you! But the men are innocent! You must fight!
No. My oath is my oath. Let them die!
Then, if you will not fight, let me. Let me wear your armor. Let me lead your men, the Myrmidons.
The Trojans will see the armor. They will think it is you. They will panic. It will save the ships.
Achilles looked at the burning ships. He loved Patroclus. He relented.
Go!
He gave him his divine armor. It was a fateful, terrible mistake.
But one promise, save the ships. And that is all.
One warning, Achilles commanded. Save the ships.
And that is all. Do not.
Do not, in your glory, chase the Trojans to the wall. It is not your fate. Leave Hector to me.
Patroclus, ecstatic, agreed. He led the charge. The Trojans saw the armor. Achilles!
They broke! They fled!
Patroclus was a great warrior. He saved the ships. He drove the Trojans from the beach. He was a hero. And in his glory, in his battle madness, he forgot his promise.
He chased them all the way to the walls of Troy. And the god Apollo decided to intervene.
Apollo, invisible, struck Patroclus from behind. His helmet flew off. His armor broke.
The Trojans stopped. They saw him. It was not Achilles.
Hector turned. He saw the disarmed, dazed Patroclus.
He thrust his spear. A single, perfect, killing blow. You boast. But it was Apollo and fate that killed me. Achilles will avenge me.
He died. Hector, victorious, stripped the body and took the armor of Achilles.
A great battle erupted over the body.
but a single runner escaped.
Achilles was waiting. He saw the runner, covered in dust, weeping. He knew.
He is dead, my lord, the runner sobbed. Patroclus is dead. And Hector has your armor.
Achilles did not move. A terrible, cold silence.
And then he roared. A sound of such grief, such inhuman rage. My son!
You cannot fight. You have no armor.
Then get me more! Achilles snarls, his eyes demonic. I will not sleep until Hector is dead.
Thetis flew to Hephaestus, the smith god, and begged him to forge new armor for her son.
All night, the god of fire worked.
He forged a new set of armor and a shield. A shield so magnificent it contained the... At dawn, Thetis delivered the new, divine armor.
Achilles put it on. He was no longer a hero. He was a god of death.
He charged! Alone! He was the battle!
The Trojans, who had been victorious, shattered. He was a force of nature, a slaughter.
He killed so many men. The river scum choked on their blood.
And Achilles fought the river and won. He drove the entire Trojan army back in a single bloody wave.
The gates of Troy were opened. The army fled inside. All except one, Hector. He stood alone. He knew this was his end.
Achilles saw him, the man who killed his friend. The two heroes faced each other.
Hector! Let us swear the victor will return the other's body. There are no pacts between lions and men.
The duel began. Achilles was a god. Hector was a man. But Hector was wearing Achilles' old armor. And Achilles knew its one weak spot. He feinted. Hector raised his shield.
And Achilles drove his spear deep into the one unprotected spot, the throat.
My body! Give my body to my father!
I would rather eat your raw flesh myself. The dogs will feast on you.
Hector died. But Achilles' rage was not satisfied.
He did the unthinkable. He tied Hector's body to the back of his chariot.
From the walls, his wife, his father, his mother, they screamed in horror.
And Achilles whipped his horses. He dragged the noble body of Troy's greatest hero in the dust around and around the city.
For 12 days his rage continued. But the gods, pitying Hector, protected his body from harm.
Finally, King Priam, Hector's father, guided by Hermes, snuck into the Greek camp. He found Achilles, and the old king knelt and kissed the hands of the man who had murdered his son.
Think of your own father, Achilles. Have pity. Give me back my son.
And Achilles' great, inhuman rage finally broke. He saw his own father.
The rage was gone. He gave back the body. The war was over. For Achilles, anyway.
His fate was near. He returned to battle, and at the very moment of his victory, Paris, the coward, fired an arrow from the wall. The god Apollo, who had not forgotten, guided it. It flew and struck Achilles in his one single mortal spot, his heel.
The greatest hero of the war was dead.
The war was still a stalemate. Their greatest hero was dead. The Greeks despaired.
We cannot win with strength. We must win with our minds.
He had a plan, a gift, a massive, hollow, wooden horse.
They built it. They hid their best soldiers inside.
And then, the entire Greek fleet sailed away.
The Trojans awoke. The Greeks were gone. They had won! Beware of Greeks bearing gifts. It's an offering.
It was a sign. The Trojans, ecstatic, pulled the horse into their unbreakable city.
That night, Troy celebrated. They feasted. They drank. They slept.
And at midnight, the belly of the horse opened.
Odysseus and his men crept out. They slaughtered the guards and opened the great gates. For outside, the Greek fleet had returned. The entire army poured into the sleeping city. The sack of Troy began.
It was not a battle. It was a massacre.
Menelaus found Helen. He raised his sword to kill her, but her beauty saved her. He took her home.
At dawn, Troy was a smoking ruin. The war was over.
The Greeks, victorious but brutal, set sail for home.
But their victory had angered the gods. Their journey home would be its own 10-year punishment.